Hi, and thanks for joining. I'm Amy Liss. My partner Amber Nesbitt and I founded Campus Integrity Group after leading the nation's only oversight body for staff on student sexual misconduct for the third largest school district in the country. We now bring our expertise to schools, families, attorneys, insurers, and youth serving organizations nationwide with a focus on misconduct investigations involving minors, prevention strategies, and compliance with Title IX and other states and federal regulations. Today, we're going to talk about stranger danger and how we now know better. We're going to talk about why the safety lesson many of us grew up with points kids in the wrong direction. Most harm doesn't come from strangers. And this is the statistic our whole presentation rests on, and it's a hard pill to swallow. 93% of child sexual abuse is committed by someone the victim already knows. Only 7% is committed by a stranger. Let this number sit for a moment before moving on. The people most likely to cause harm are usually already trusted, such as coaches, relatives, family friends, teachers, and neighbors. So why does stranger danger still exist as a strategy? Stranger danger persists because it's simple and it feels protective. It gives kids a clear rule and gives adults a sense that they've done something. But it points outward towards unfamiliar people when the real risk is usually closer to home. That mismatch is exactly what allows grooming to work. Abusers build trust slowly and deliberately with both the child and the adults around them. So by the time something happens, the child often doesn't recognize it as dangerous because it doesn't match the stranger that they were warned about. Let's talk about body autonomy. It is the foundation everything else builds on. Kids need to know early and often that their body belongs to them, that no one has the right to touch them in ways that feel wrong, and that they'll never get in trouble for telling a trusted adult when something feels off. It's not about scaring kids. It's about giving them the language and confidence before they ever need it. We're not trying to tell them to be scared of the world or that someone they love might hurt them, but we want to give them accurate, useful tools for recognizing when something is wrong, regardless of who it involves. The old message, watch out for strangers, is a rule that only addresses 7% of actual risk, gives no guidance when the person is familiar. So what should we be teaching instead? The shift here is moving from watching out for strangers to watching out for behaviors, no matter who they come from. Anyone who asks a kid to keep secrets from their parents, who tries to get them alone, or who makes them feel like they'd be in trouble for telling someone is showing a warning sign, regardless of how familiar or trusted they are. The other half of protection comes from adults. We have work to do as well. We need to know the warning signs and recognize the patterns that grooming relies on. We need to take disclosures from children seriously. When a child speaks up, the response they get shapes whether they ever speak up again. And we need to build environments of trust. Kids need to feel safe coming forward. They don't want to be afraid of blame, and they want to make sure people will believe them. And none of this is optional extra credit. It's the foundation of real protection. So what's the takeaway here? Kids deserve the truth, even if the conversation is uncomfortable. And it needs to be taught in an age-appropriate way. Kids need to recognize unsafe behavior and trust that they'll be believed when they speak up. It's that, and not a simplified myth, that actually keeps them safe. I feel like I have to defend my childhood and the adults around me at the time that the stranger danger myth prevailed. It was not pointless. We don't want children running up to people leaning out of a car window offering lollipops, and we don't want our children to run over to the person at the playground giving out balloons. But we do want to make sure that they can recognize the behaviors of the other 93%. That is the lesson here. And that's all we have. Thanks for watching. You have any questions, comments, concerns, if you just want to talk through any situations that you're currently facing or anything you want to plan for the future, feel free to reach out. And again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.